Welcome. If you're new to this channel, I have to comment in order for these clips to be fair use on YouTube. Otherwise, Mike will try to take them down. So you will be hearing me comment from time to time. This clip in particular, I have something to add to, because it's a rare occasion where my Comicsgate reality has a crossover with my Redbar radio reality. Comicsgate gets mentioned in this clip on Redbar. It has to do with Lady Alchemy, one of Redbar's regular fools that he likes to pick on, and I am going to take you even deeper and see what her side of the story is, because I'm in Comicsgate and I know where to find this crap. And this is about how Lady Alchemy had a comic book Indiegogo campaign, which is a crowdfunding website, and she's teamed up with this artist, and allegedly she stole the money, she spent it all, and blamed it on him. So let's take a listen to the Redbar clip, and then I'll show you what she said.
So you're going to all have to defend yourselves coming up. In fact, we need some provisions. If you have like artillery and stuff like this and reinforcement, send them over. Help us out. We want to. I saw somebody else that had the same idea. They wanted to make friends. We have a few guns here. Definitely not enough ammo to get through summer. So we need ammo. We need knives and stuff like that. We need a lot of stuff from you. Just kidding. We don't need anything from you. We're going to be here for you until the power goes out here. Okay? But we all got to stick together. Do you want to hear Martina Markota? This is Lady Alchemy. Let's do these. Let's get through the. I want to get to Michael Malone. It's amazing what happened. We were talked about on a podcast yesterday. Redbar is getting very popular in all the worst ways. We're just waiting till somebody finally comes up with a plan to stop us. I can't believe they haven't put something together yet. It's coming, but until then, we're just going to laugh at the things that they've said. We've got Lady Alchemy. Do you remember her? Do people know who she is? I know we have a lot of new people, and it's really nice. There's this woman, Lady Alchemy. She's an alt-right. She was an alt-right woman, like a alt-right babe. She was a pro-Trump babe. Now, we don't hate her because she's pro-Trump. We hate her because she's a fool, okay? We love a lot of Trump people. Baked Alaska is really cool. Sven Stuffles is cool. Trump himself, of course. But Lady A, this is non-political. We just hate her for who she is. She's great. She's a great fool. She ran off with the comic book money. Yep.
So Martina Markota got into the Comicsgate thing because her ideals and her political beliefs align with what Comicsgate stands for, which is typically right-leaning. We don't care what your political beliefs are, honestly, but typically we're right-leaning and we hate SJWs. Basically, the leader of Comicsgate, he hates being called that, but that's what he is. His name is Ethan Van Sciver. What happened to him is he got kicked out of being an artist at DC Comics after Trump was elected because he's a Trump supporter. They chased him out. They all refused to work with him. All his colleagues refused to work with him. Chased him out. He couldn't work with anybody. So, he's an artist, but he needs someone to write on the same book as him, and they all refused. They boycotted him at his own job. So what he did, he got canceled in a way, but he has made millions since then by doing his own comic book independently with crowdfunding on Indiegogo. And this has sprung up a lot of other artists who were also ousted, artists and writers who were kicked out for their political beliefs because on Twitter they support Trump, so they got kicked out of DC and Marvel. So they come over to Comicsgate, and we actually have a lot of great artists and writers now. So that's the little backstory on that. And then basically everyone who got Ethan fired to begin with is now jobless because they've all been fired. DC made a bunch of cuts, and everybody at Marvel and DC have no talent at this point. No talent. They make the most hideous drawings you'll ever see. So I guess Martina kind of felt like her struggle was similar, as I guess she got kicked out of burlesque for being alt-right. I'm not exactly sure, but yeah, something like that happened to her. So just wanted to fill you guys in on that.
Couple short clips here today. Would you like to hear her her ex-partner Maz? Do you remember this guy? He was working on this comic book. They raised a bunch of money. I got a few short clips about how she ran off with the loot.
Sounds like just up our alley.
And he's going to throw her under the bus. Let me DL this clip to make it a little easier. I'm going to download it here. Using up my bandwidth. Does everybody have internet access today? Or are you borrowing it from a mom or a grandma? What's going on here?
I was just laughing at a chat comment that says, Baked Alaska, Sven Stoffels, haha, Sven gets lumped in with Baked.
What do you mean lumped in? Baked is better than Sven.
I think you just like saying the name Baked Alaska.
You think? Speak for yourself! Check this out. This is cool. And you're going to hear about a woman who lied. She's currently doing what's called art streams for cash. This is a hooker. This is a prostitute. She was selling Negretto the other day. Do you know what Negretto is? You saw this in the Bring Back group. Negretto is her standing stark naked with her voluptuous body from years ago. And I say voluptuous is a slam, an insult. And then she starts pouring black latex paint all over her body and issuing a strobe light to flash, giving you a seizure there. And she calls it Negretto. Now, she shows people Negretto footage of this for cash. So she runs a stream. She goes on YouTube. She streams for 30 people. And then she goes, if you guys donate, I'll play you Negretto. And Negretto is her naked with paint. And they go, oh, we'll donate. Meanwhile, you could watch the thing for free on Vimeo. But there must be something when she plays it for you on the stream. That's worth $75. She stole money. This is the first time, allegedly. Her partner, who she has fired, is going to claim she stole the comic book money. Let's go to 137.50. This is good. It's a scheme. It's a scandal. 137.50. This is a shorty, which is also an award. The only award I've ever won was a shorty, and I won that for my height. I'm 5'2". Now that we all have corona, there's no shame in size. I'm 5'2". Just kidding. Here it is.
In 2017, this girl, Martina, reaches out to me and gives me this sob victim story about, I've been marginalized, I've been kicked out, I'm a victim, this and that, right? Yeah. And I go, oh my God, this sounds terrible. Damsel in distress. And I said, you know what? I can help you out. I was managing.
And she's beautiful.
Yeah, Sean, just to give you some context, this is what she looks like.
That's right now. Yeah. So I was managing.
That's not the same. Oh, man.
Because that matters.
This is like the God.
It wasn't like the Elephant Man reached out to him.
Yeah.
Yeah, it's really no secret that Martina is a very beautiful woman. I don't know why she does the weird lighting on her face, because she doesn't need it. She does like the whiteout on her face sometimes when she's on camera, and it's overexposed, and you can't even see like if she has a nose. But she's beautiful. I don't know why she does that. It's so weird. I don't get it, but she's pretty for sure. And I've actually had some DMs with her, which I'll talk about in a little bit.
Yeah. Did they say anything else here, Jules, at this first time code here? Or this is just setting it up, maybe?
Yeah, I think so.
This is the beginning. Let's go to 140.30, the reason the project fell apart. Now, this is where it gets good. 140.30. And I hope everybody's still having a good day. I'm really worried about the guys. Really worried. You know how many times in the Bring Back group I wanted to say, I just hope everybody's okay. But you can't say that as a guy like me. That's not fucking cool. So, but I really am worried about everybody. More so selfishly, of course, for me and my business. But I am worried nonetheless. 140.30. Listen to this. Listen to this. And I do want to, now that there's an outbreak, I think I want to go hang out with some listeners. Now that
I've been daydreaming about moving to Harley's mansion.
Yes, I think I'm going to move in with the Arizona Threatmen for some protection, because our enemies, they're going to start, once the police all get sick, our enemies are going to start breaking in and killing me. Listen to this.
And figure out, okay, so what do we want to do with this? Yeah. And I was like, well, I've been working with this girl. Let's figure out how to get this out. We can use her as one of the characters in the story. Can get her to promote it.
Right.
And she can be the person who basically takes care of all the marketing and all that stuff.
So I pitched it to her. right? Let's do this. Let's get on this Comicsgate thing. I'll help you. I'll write a script for your Rebel Comicsgate video to get their attention, and we'll move all these pieces together, right?
Just listen to this.
So, to refute her first claim that it's her project, completely untrue. I created the Indiegogo.
But what's her most serious claim? You always have to go with the most global warming people fuck this. What's the most serious claim?
That I took money and didn't deliver work.
Right.
Yeah, I love money
claims
stuff.
that I did 14 pages.
Right.
I did 32 pages, which I can show you, and the comic was 40 pages. I was damn near done.
Right.
And the truth of the matter is, and I was saving this, but let's just get to it.
Yeah, always
Here's
go with
what
the best.
everyone needs to know.
Listen.
Yeah.
The reason this project fell apart and she took the accounts and the emails and blocked us in like a thief in the night is because she spent all the fucking money.
Yeah!
And now you're under my control.
Hey, Bert Kreischer, your wife is on my soundboard. Does he know that? That's Bert Kreischer's wife.
We should tell him.
Lene. But anyway, yeah, she took all the money. She spent all the money, he says.
They're saying Lady A is the alt-right clay former with tits.
Exactly. So what, am I to help Lady A get away with it then?
And blocked us in like a thief in the night.
Listen,
because she spent all the fucking money behind our backs.
Right.
If you go online and you look, she'll say, because we copyright strike the account and her websites because she was still selling merchandise that was my artwork.
Right.
And when she emailed me and said, I don't want you here anymore, the first email I wrote her was, this is crazy, but if that's what you want to do, it's fine.
Yeah.
You can keep selling the art and the merch and posters. I don't care. I even offered to pay her back.
Yeah, this isn't...
So basically the backstory, we went over this another time on the show. Sorry,
Baby
I
got
thought you
backstory.
explained it.
Nah, I didn't really explain it today.
Wow.
Because it's coronavirus.
That's
Everything is
confusing.
different. Yes, it is confusing.
Basically, she and this guy Maz wanted to start a magazine, like comic book thing, something like that.
Yeah, comic book.
Started a GoFundMe for it. They were fighting and they couldn't work together, of course, because they're both stupid. And then now he's accusing her of running off with the money. That's
Running
basically all you need
off
to know.
with the money, which is what we assumed. Now, is he lying or is she lying?
Some of the money because I didn't want the whole...
Did you get any money?
She was saying that I got 10 G's.
Yeah.
I only got $4,250 for 30 pages of artwork, 2 posters, 2 T-shirts, right? All these things that together generated upwards of 45, 46 G's, right?
Yeah.
And here's the best part. Every piece of merchandise, T-shirt, poster, sticker, right? Because Galt from the faction made those posters for us, right?
Yeah.
I hand-packed and shipped all of that stuff from my place in LA.
Right.
Now, is there any more on this show note, or do we go to the next
Probably
one for
not.
the good
I just
stuff?
like the part where she said she stole the money.
This is good. So, Martina Markota, Lady A, is married to Jack Buckby, one of our oldest enemies. He was the very first Proud Boy, second to Gavin McInnes. He was Gavin McInnes' right-hand man. He lives in England. She lives in New York. They did a marriage scam. He thought, the easiest way to get to America is to marry a girl. Martina, marry me, and everything will be great, and I'll be Alex Jones, and you'll be Lauren Southern. Well, that didn't work out. And we've been making fun of Jack Buckby ever since. So listen to this. 1:43:30. Oh, in fact, it's coming up. Let's just listen through. Yeah, Xander says, let it play. Let it play. Let it play. I am one of the Beatles because the back of my head is very metallic.
She did nothing. Literally zero work. All she did was start shit with other girls online.
Yeah, you got it.
She would go on.
I mean, that is all they do.
I know.
The chicks all they do is start shit.
In October of last year, when she was on Ethan Van Sciver's Comicsgate show, she's frantically Skyping me while she's live saying, what is this story about? They're going to ask me about the story. What should I tell them? Granted, she has had script in her hand for the better half of a year. Yeah. We would send her script after script, update after update, and she would not read any of it.
Yeah.
And go on these shows to promote without any idea of what the product was or what the project was. But two things that I want everyone to know. We have the same accountant because I provided her with accounting because our money was convoluted. Right?
Oh man, that's always get the money.
I know. And here's what happened.
Always have them. You have
Here
the
it
money.
comes. This is the good stuff.
Here are the three things that I need everyone to know.
Yeah.
One, and she doesn't know that I know this, but we have the same accountant. One, she claimed a large portion of the comic book money as her income so she could leverage that into a visa for her husband who's overseas. And she paid a ridiculous amount of taxes on it. That's reason one why there's no money left. Reason two, both her and her husband were fired from the Rebel and have not worked in 2 years.
What's the Rebel for people who don't know? Rebel
They have
Media.
not worked in a year and a half.
What is that for people who don't?
They have not worked in a year and a half.
So
and then this
everything-
asshole keeps going, what is the Rebel? What is the Rebel? So listen to that, huh? They haven't worked. They have no money.
Rebel
It
Media
is
is a conservative,
like a slightly
kind of talk
right-wing
site that,
news show.
Gavin
right-wing,
McGinnis is
yeah.
on.
Yeah.
That's
Okay.
those guys.
Yeah, keep going.
Why is that funny?
Well, I mean,
It's not right-wing enough for me.
This is putting me to sleep. They're bad people. Who would have thought?
Basically, everything we thought was correct. That's all.
Where could people listen to that full episode by themselves if they want to know everything about Martina Markota stealing? This is on Dick Masterson's podcast. I believe people keep talking to me, but wasn't he on our show in 2006?
I don't even know who that Moz guy is to begin with, honestly. I don't think he's part of Comicsgate. I've been in Comicsgate for over a year, almost 2 years, and I've never heard of him. He's never been around. He's not involved that I know of. But I guess he's friendly towards Comicsgate. He's not against it, so I don't know anything about his skills as an artist or if he's able to fulfill campaigns in a competent manner. I have no idea. So we'll move on to Lady Alchemy's side of the story, which we find in a live stream on Matt Wenger's channel. He is a Comicsgate writer, and he has on a few other people. He has on Adam Post, who is, I believe, a writer / artist, and Carl O'Rowe. He is a Scottish or Irish artist. And then he has on Lady A herself. And the guy at the top, that's Wenger with the cowboy hat, don't be alarmed because he has a very strong twang to his speak. There's a lot of characters in Comicsgate, so that's his thing. We got a Scottish guy and we got a guy that talks like this. Then you're going to be hearing all of that, okay? Lady Alchemy down there at the bottom in the dark, when she's usually has too much light on. Here, it looks like too dark, creepy. And I'm keeping an eye on the chat box on the right. It's the live chat replay for what people were saying at the time that this was streaming live. Because I can already see somebody said that they have the original script that she wrote, that Lady Alchemy wrote for this comic book, and that it's cringe-inducing. So that would be interesting to see that. So here we go. We're going to see what she says and get ready for a lot of women-esque rambling.
So anyway, we got Martina Markova is here, Lady Alchemy.
Oh, hey, I'm live. Sorry. Yeah.
Hi. Hey, did you fall asleep during the video?
Yeah, no, I'm not used to this setup on this thing, so I didn't know if we're like on or what you guys were talking about.
Nobody knows what we were talking about. It's Marvel's new book.
Yeah. Like my Discord is saying they're chatting about what you guys are talking about. So yeah, I guess you guys are live, but I don't know. I don't know what's going on with Marvel or anything. I've got my own drama going on. So
She couldn't be more uninvolved in comic books altogether, but Comicsgate has accepted her with open arms. So I'm going to try not to be biased in my reporting of this. You guys can obviously hear her side of the story and make up your mind after hearing the other guy's side of the story, which we heard earlier. And you can go back and listen to that if you think you need to and make your own decisions. I think Martina's a sweet girl. And we have DM'd. She basically told me in the DMs she's pretty much a broken woman. She can't believe her life has turned out the way that it has and that her career has turned out to be how it is or non-existent now, whatever. But she's a sweet girl. I don't know. She's beautiful and sweet. And she's not even fun to pick on. I don't know. I think She needs to be retired as one of Mike's fools, but that's just me. She's a sweet girl. I don't know, who to believe, her or him, but let's take a listen and you can go ahead and decide for yourself. And I'll probably be commenting at a very minimum.
Yeah, so that's why we're here is apparently Doug, we know Dick Masterson's show, right?
Yes.
And they said some things about you, and we wanted to give you a chance to respond to what was said there. So what do you want to say?
Thank you. Yeah, well, I mean, really all there is to say is that there is a Lady Alchemy comic book. I have been Lady Alchemy for over a decade. I'm a performance artist in New York City. Just Google Lady Alchemy. This face pops up. I have been Lady Alchemy for many, many years. So I had an artist friend and we decided to do a comic book, something I've always wanted to do before I ever knew him. But since, Comicsgate was happening and I aligned with you guys politically and like the same things you guys were going through or what Ethan was going through, I was going through, and it just created an opportunity for us to make it happen. And so we were friends, said, let's make this happen. Let's do it. And ultimately, I think I was taken advantage of by a friend, and I'm not happy with the script, the way that the story was turning out and anything about it. It's supposed to be my story, and I was really unhappy with it. So I just decided to make an executive decision and say, we're not going to continue on using you. And I hired new artists and new writers, which I'm very excited about, and wanted to tell my story, the Lady Alchemy story. And that really upset my artist that was my friend. But there was too much going on, and we can go into details. It's very entertaining, but just to give you the short, it was one of those things, those kinds of relationships where it was like, we are ending now. Wish you well, move on. You got thousands of dollars out of me. Don't want your artwork. Don't want the script. Just please go away. And it has turned into him trying to being so upset by this that he's filed false copyright claims on my Indiegogo because I hired a new artist and a new writer like it's literally nothing of theirs. He did it on my website because I was still selling the merch. He's gone on 3 podcasts, and the most recent one that came out today was the Dick Masterson show. Just to go on and on and on and on and on and complain and cry that I'm an evil boogeyman. Listen, I had to pay the taxes. I owe all the backers a book. My name, my reputation. I just want to get them the book, and I want to get them a book that tells my story. I just want them to go away. I don't really understand what they want.
Do you know any idea now whenever the Indiegogo is going to release your project back to you?
There is some general idea. It should be later on this month. So I'm not worried about it because it's unfortunate, and this is a way of him trying to mess up the project. So I would like it back, and then I can continue on using the Indiegogo, and all that should happen at the end of the month. However, right now I decided to take matters into my own hands, and on my website, one of my websites, it's Magnum Opus Prod, which is short for productions. I couldn't get the whole website. So magnumopusprod.com. There is a shop, and you can pre-order the book through there if that's, you want to support and you're still trying to focus on getting the Lady Alchemy book and you want it and you want to support. You can still get it there until my Indiegogo gets reinstated. So you can always go there. The project's still going on. So I'm really excited about my new team. Let me just make sure I can announce the new team.
Do you have any art you might be able to show us?
Yeah. How can I send it to you? Should I just
Yeah, you can screen share. Do you see where it is?
Okay. Oh, I do see screen share. Okay. Let me see about possibly.
Micah Curtis says the guy was just a contractor, right? He doesn't own anything of the comic.
No, I mean, it's all just contractor. I mean, I am Lady Alchemy. I own my trademark, my copyright. This is my image. This is my persona. So, I mean, it's me. I mean, the story is autobiographical. So, I mean, it's my literal story turned into a fantastical comic book version. So it's my story. Oh my God, what are you doing?
I think CG Raven really wanted to see some feet.
Oh my God.
We don't usually do this, but
yeah, see, this ruins it.
Nice.
This is every other week.
Thank you.
Oh yeah, of course.
So you got Martina, Von Klaus, and Matt Weldon as a team on this. That is going to be a good book. That's going to be a great book.
Totally.
Yeah, and
that's why they're fighting so hard. I'm sorry, Wayne. I didn't mean to cut you off.
Go ahead, it's cool, man.
No, I'm saying that. Yeah, that's why her, the old artist who's causing trouble right now. He knows Martina's gonna make a lot more money.
Yeah, and I mean, like, I really don't get it. It's just more of a, like, you know, a scorned woman kind of thing. Just really, really.
Yeah.
I don't know. I mean, like, thank you for being so in love with the project, but like, I wasn't happy. And like, I'm sorry, it's my project and it's my name and it's my reputation and it's my finances. And I just want it to be something I'm really proud of. And I wasn't proud of it before. So now I'm really proud and we're going to get it done. But,
yeah, it's your project leader. If you're not happy, that's what a leader does, is says, this isn't what I want, and you're taking responsibility and moving forward with it. And I think that the backers are really going to be happy.
Yeah, and I mean, it's a tough decision, you know, like I put in all this money into, you know, people to do something, and like I'm losing out on like thousands of dollars, you know, so it was like a tough decision, but it's also like a breakup, you know, like no matter how bad sometimes the relationship is, it's really hard to break up. And it was a really tough decision for me. And it was like a heartache because I considered him my friend. But now seeing how hard he's taking it months and months later and trying to ruin the project is like, like, I just don't know what they want. Like, I think they just want to scorch it all and make sure that my reputation's ruined, make sure that I don't complete the book. And that I'm happy.
If I remember correctly, they were turning it into their own story. Like it had nothing to do with you anymore.
Yes, correct. And even actually right now, as like you guys were talking about the intro and being like, do you know what we were just talking about? I was on Twitter because I have someone that's claiming to be the writer and the original Lady Alchemy writer. And he's like, I'm the original Lady Alchemy writer. And I was actually these are all lies. I was actually working on this story 7 months before Lady Alchemy. And I'm like, so it's not my story. Like, you're admitting that this is not a Lady Alchemy story. You just used me and my name and my campaign to add a little bit of Lady Alchemy to then, like, I don't know, tell your story, get a cash. I don't know what it is they wanted, but they turned it. My artist has his own like persona character that he goes by, and it's called Major Grubert. And that's what he goes by, like, on Twitter and everything. And so he self-inserted himself as Major Gruber and used this emoji mask that, like, a mask that's in an emoji, the red one. And he made that like this character, and it became the main character. And Lady Alchemy became a sidekick and a mere afterthought, which, again, if you made the story 7 months before Lady Alchemy, makes sense. And it just, yeah, Lady Alchemy became like an afterthought and a side character. She appeared for the first time on page 14.
Jesus Christ. So this is basically Major Goober and Lady Alchemy, a special guest.
Yes, special guest Lady Alchemy. She's a damsel in distress. It's always like, but why? And like, I can't do it without you, Gruber. Like, these are quotes from, like, and it was just, yeah, and she just became this damsel in distress. He was like the wise sage that was like, yeah, like, let me tell you the truths in the world. And you can now see it because I'm showing you like what's really going on in the world. Just believe in yourself, you know? And it's just like, it's just so bad that I was like, yeah, I mean, it's bad. I don't want
to. Now in this book, the first 20 pages is about Adamo the Wizard. Is that correct?
Wait, what?
This book is Adamo the Wizard.
I didn't even get to the main part. So, okay, I should really take out my notes because I posted it on Twitter, really, like the letter that I sent him when I said, okay, you know what, I want to be done. And it really outlines everything. And I found out that the main character, Major Grubert, that's him. I Googled it. It's already a Marvel comic book character. That's the name. If you just Google Major Grubert, it's a Marvel comic book character. And I was like, are you guys crazy? You cannot have a copywritten Marvel comic book character as the main character in my book. Like, do you want me to get sued? Do you want me to become an embarrassment to Comicsgate? Like, Comicsgate will be embarrassed by this. This is insane. So there were so many things that they were doing that it's like, if he did that and I didn't catch it, what else did he do that I didn't catch? You know, what other dumb mistakes are you doing?
It's a good thing this book is being redone completely because that sounds like a whole lot of trouble.
Yeah, it's shocking. I mean, I have to pull up this thing because there's just so many. Let me see it. I actually have a whole folder.
Oh, this Pablo cover looks gorgeous, especially in color. It's really nice work.
Yeah, it's definitely coming along. Vaughn's a great guy. He's good on the mic too, so he'll sell books on his own.
He sure will.
So, what were they saying on the show today, Carl? You said you watched it.
Yeah, I listened to a bit, and yeah, I mean, I don't know. It was kind of. It kind of they said a lot of the same stuff you're saying. They just said it from their perspective, which was that they said like Lady Alchemy didn't show up for 13 pages, but you're in one panel on the 4th page or something, which again is the same thing that you've been saying. But yeah, I mean, they said the copyright strike was a slap on the wrist and that they just want to be left out of it. They don't want to be talked about, which is weird because I don't even know.
This is my first time talking about them, and I've never mentioned their names still.
Yeah, and the whole project wasn't sold on them. It wasn't sold based on the talent. It wasn't sold on this is the artist and this is the writer working on this book. So. Yeah. Even that, it's you're not really being brought up into this, it's only as much as people want to pay attention that they know who you're talking about, so yeah, I think the best thing for all of this is just, oh my, she's gone.
She took her out of the stream. Are you meaning to do that, Martina? You took yourself
backstage
out.
now. Oh, sorry. Again, this is my first time using this thing, I think.
That's okay.
You're coming back.
Yeah, I just wanted to make sure you weren't doing that on purpose for some reason.
No. Yeah, sorry. Go ahead. What were you saying?
The best thing for...
Was it Vinny or Carl who's talking?
Yeah, it's me. It's Carl. Hi. Yeah, the best thing for all of this for I mean CG and the backers and you and the health of the project in general is just getting the work out there now, getting the new work out there.
Yeah. That's definitely what's happening now, is that I just need to start getting the work out there for everyone to really get behind, and I'm really excited about that. And Vaughn's excited to tell the story as well. But if we can just go back to defending myself, just because they're going on and on and on and on and on all these streams and saying all sorts of ridiculous things, this is my turn to say my side, right? But this is the first half of the letter that I sent them in November, which was, let's see, okay, this project is becoming a huge burden and the backers are getting concerned. This is my reputation on the line as well as my debt to deal with. We had a year to complete this, which is significantly longer than it takes to make a comic book. I mean, am I wrong? I don't know. It's my first time making a comic book, but
you're
hello,
right.
a year is good enough to do so. You can build a house in that time.
Right. Yeah, I mean, it was 40 pages?
Yeah, originally, and then they started making it 60, and because this is what they started doing. It was started to become a Ponzi scheme, because then he didn't produce any artwork, right? And he kept being he asked right off the bat for $3,000, and I have his invoice if you guys want to see it, because I come with receipts. Unlike them, they just talk and bitch and complain like women. I have all sorts of proof. So I gave him right as soon as I got dispersed money from the Indiegogo campaign. Again, this is my friend, so he's coming to me and being like, "Okay, like give me $3,000, right?" And I'm just like, well, I got like really uncomfortable because I was like, I don't feel comfortable holding on to all this money and just start spending it on things like, here's $3,000 for you, Maz, when I know we have shirts to buy, we, you know, to print, we have posters to print, we have all these like expenses that add up, that I was afraid to just start saying, yay, now we have money, you know? So I was like, can we wait to the end and then figure out what we have left? Because he was my friend. So it was like, are you doing this, you know, with me, or, you know, oh, you want your cash out? Okay, so here's your cash out. I don't know if I'm going to get anything in the end, but fine, here, take the $3,000. So then he's happy, right? A year goes, a few months later.
Well, wait. So the first payment was $3,000.
Yeah.
What was that worked for? Like, what was he supposed to submit for that $3,000?
Right. So this is where it becomes like my fault. Now, I'm not saying I'm completely not to blame for this project becoming a mess, because it is my fault that I allowed this to happen. I'm very passive, and he is a type of, if you guys have ever been in like an abusive relationship where someone is like, has some weird hold over you and tells you like,
Yeah, I mean, like
all the time, and you kind of like and as you can see, you watch the stream, right? How much of a talker is this guy?
I mean,
how
yeah,
much
but
like LA
they're also
bullshit
on the
did you
stream with
sniff?
Doug Tonico,
You know, like,
so I mean, it
goes
was kind of a
talk,
battle
talk,
of the
talk,
egos.
talk. So he talks over me and kind of like acts like he's, you know, has these grand ideas and he's like knows what to do, that, you know, and as a woman, and I'm very like timid and trusting, it's kind of like, okay, like I can trust this guy to help me, you know? He
Well,
says,
here's what's not gonna help like anybody now, right?
Yeah.
Like in this whole internet flame war that it's becoming, what's not gonna help any of this is saying shit like Ponzi scheme or abusive relationship, you know? Like,
Yeah,
just
I know.
you just have to say, hey, we were friends. Everybody understands that. It's easy to cut through it. It's not going to get clipped and spread about and sent to everybody, and fucking, you know, people
Yeah, well, I mean,
people
look
going to
what they
cry and
talked
bitch about it.
on their stream. I mean, they went on and on about crazy shit, like crazy shit.
well, that's
Started like making accusations of me spending. What are you talking about? I spent money on you. What
They
did
said,
you
yeah,
do?
and they said they brought up
You know
shit
what I mean?
about like tax or something, some fucking crazy shit.
Like,
But
just like, what are they talking? What do they know about my taxes? Like, what do they know about any? I
Yeah,
don't
but-
even know the writer's last name. His name's Chris. Who the fuck is this guy? I don't know him.
You never
So
found out what
I don't
his-
know. They
well,
say all sorts of stuff, but genuinely, how I felt was this was a friend, but he was very manipulative, and I was in this situation. Stupidly gave him a little like too much credit, and so when he said, "Oh, give me $3,000," you know, yeah, that was to help me do the poster art, to do the t-shirts. And it was like an initial payment for getting this comic book rolling. You know what I mean? So then a month or so later, he goes, "Can I get another $1,000?" So, and I have all the receipts. If you want to show, I'll show them. And so then I'm just like, okay. I gave him another $1,000 payment. And it's like, he's so domineering that it's like when I start asking him questions a year later, and then he asked for more money at some point. I gave him little installments, less and less each time, because he kept asking for money. And then by the time a year went by, I went like, I kind of got my like backbone and was like, okay, like, where's the art? Where's the art? Where's the art? And that's when he got really quiet. And suddenly his domineering personality became, where is he? You know? And I said, okay, listen, it was September. And I said, by October 15th, I need 30 pages done. Can we do 30 pages, which is supposed to be half the book? And it's already a year late. And it's like, yeah, no problem. 30 pages. I got that. Yeah, great. And I leave him alone because he says, listen, I can't go on your streams. I can't do, it's too, I just need to work, you know? And then I was okay, left him alone. I'm like, let's get this book done. And then as that date approached, I waited. And then October 15th came by. Hey, do you have the pages? Where's the art? Where's the art? And it's like, I didn't hear from him. And then the 16th, 17th was like, oh, sorry, I'll get it to you by the weekend. okay, wait for the weekend. Weekend comes around. Oh, I'll get it to you Sunday. Sunday comes around. It's like, where's the art? And it's like, okay, I sent you an email. 14 pages. Out of those 14, they were all Major Gruber. So I got really stressed, and I was like, this is not even a quarter of the book. And what I'm seeing, like, how do I make this work that makes it me
Yeah,
happy?
but here's the thing that like makes me like the alarm, like I question it, is that like you should never be surprised at what you get back, you know, like, and that's
Yeah, it was
like
a
that's
mess.
the
But
whole
like I said,
point.
Adam helped me
yeah.
sort this out, and it's now doing it the proper comic book way, where it's like, I have the story. The writer's gonna, write a proper script. I approve things. There were things in the script where I was trying to change. Like, for example, there were like having me crying over my dead mother that like was this Vegas showgirl performer, and I just want to make her proud. And I was like, that has nothing to do with my life. My mom is a hardcore conservative that absolutely hates me performing, and she's alive. You know what I mean? Like, I'm not feeling that. And I was like, well, my little sister has leukemia. Can we make her like me want to like be a success for my little sister? My sick sister. Like, I want to take care of. Like, I want to make it relevant to Lady Alchemy. And it was like, no, it has to be this way because blah, 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 blah. And I was like, okay. And then like the bad lady's name, like the bad evil character was Hera. And then there's another character, Ares. And I was like, it's so like Hera, Ares, like, okay, Greek goddesses, like, really? Is that what we're doing? It has nothing to do with alchemy. So I was like, let's change Hera's name to like this Christian demon that has this symbolism. This makes sense with alchemy. And it's like, no, it has to be Hera because it is the Greek mythology thing, having layers in there. And I was like, that's really stupid. I don't want that.
Yeah. They took complete creative control.
There's so much to it. There's so much cringe. There's like, it's actually really entertaining how cringy the script is, and I would love to show it to you guys.
This is why you were supposed to check on these people from day one. And if you didn't like something, you're the head of this whole production. You're the boss. You got to keep remembering that, even going into what you're doing now. I know you have better people with you, but you have to make it clear. That's what you should have done. But I do understand I'm not putting that kind of blame. This guy, he saw something. He saw dollar signs, your name, your reputation, so it didn't matter to him. His real name isn't anywhere. His writer friend's name wasn't anywhere. You just knew him as Chris. These guys, they were two more dirty dogs. They were tapeworms.
Yeah.
They were parasites that were just bleeding you dry.
Yeah, and so I decided to make a really difficult decision and say, I'm cutting the parasite off. Take the money. I'm not asking for the thousands back. I just want to do this like on my own, like sorry. And it's just turned into like crying and oh, Martina's so evil. She wanted this comic book to be about her. How dare her?
They're trying to spin their narrative.
Am I crazy? Am I going crazy?
You're not crazy.
Or is this guy making a Lady Alchemy comic book about him?
Yep.
And then crying that he's the victim.
Carl, that's very good insight about the process, and Vinny is right, of course, about the process. And Martina knows that, this is not the way to manage a project the way that she did in the past. However, I discussed it with Martina on her stream. I discussed it more with Martina privately. Von Klaus is a total professional. His anytime he touches something, his reputation's on the line. He has a relationship with John Malin for writing Graveyard Shift. Obviously, Monster MD is big hit, and Vaughn is constantly helping people with writing. He's helped me with ad copy. He's helped a lot of people. He's very generous with his time. He is doing it for a fair fee. They worked out a fee. It's going to be contracted completely correct. To what Vinny was saying before about like, hey, remember you're in charge. It's something to always remember. And Vaughn is a strong personality, but Martina has the strength of process behind her, and meaning that I've already seen a proposal that Vaughn wrote to Martina about what would happen, where he would take the story. They collaborated on it. It looked excellent to me. And then the next step is going to be once they're contracted and ready to go. I don't know what the status of that is. It's not exactly my business, but moving forward, Vaughn is going to give a breakdown on a page-by-page basis that Martina is going to approve, and they're going to have super communication on. So that communication is going to lead to that kind of, good control and good collaboration.
Yeah.
And then I'm sure Vaughn is not going to turn in something that's different than what the two of them agreed to at an earlier stage. So
Right.
process will manage 90% of it. If you have people that haven't written comics before, and I don't know if that other writer did or didn't, whatever, she can't, Martina's not in a position, and I wouldn't want to invest the time to try to work with someone who's a newbie who can't execute like on a level like Vaughn can execute. So it's going to be a fantastic project. And Matt Weldon is fast, detailed, has tons of energy, has his own following, and a great attitude. So you're going to have great script and great art, and there's really literally nothing to go wrong. The main thing is just to see when Indiegogo frees up the project, I think.
I got to read some super chats, Adam.
Oh, by all means. Super them up, brother.
Spartan Scotsman, thank you for $1.99. Hale Wanger, Fit Doximus Maximus. Deadwood Dale, thank you for $2. Beware the large boobs, they summon the blue one. So Remus, she smells it whenever that you have a sexy comic. I know. Reno for $2.
Got a question? Sorry, I don't know if it cut out for a second.
He has a question for Martina. He says, can Martina tell us about Flex Future Magazine?
Okay, yeah, no, so this is probably some of my artist trolls in there, because Flux Future is a really cringy fucking name for a magazine, and this was another side project that I was working on in collaboration with my artist, which also obviously fell apart because I don't want anything to do with him. I don't know what they want to say. I was working on multiple projects and I don't want anything to do with the guy. So
yeah. So that is it safe to say that's canceled then?
I have nothing to do with Flux Future. I'm doing my own magazine called Metacog Magazine. Flux Future is so cringy. I absolutely hate the sound of that. And they're gonna just have a magazine full of like Reupers and like right-wing edgy content, and my magazine is art. So I have all my own personal art contacts from being in the New York City art scene for 10 years, and I want to showcase that art and promote that, and it's not Flux Future.
Well, that's cool. I'm looking forward to seeing what Weldon does for you, because he does do really cool stuff. And I'm glad you were able to land him. I don't know how he does so much. Like, he's on a bunch of projects already.
He draws lightning fast, dude. I was on the...
Well, the thing that I've noticed about like you guys and being in the Comicsgate scene, which is different from the scene that I was like, my artist is more of the political scene. That's how I know him. And that's also another issue that I came across was for my tarot cards, which is one of the perks, a year ago, and I have an email here too. Actually, I will bring it up. Let me bring it up just to show.
Asking about the tarot cards in the chat. So
yeah.
They're still getting.
So here, let me show you something else too. Here.
So she's saying that the tarot cards were a perk. A perk is part of her Indiegogo campaign. It's something you can add on to what you're selling on Indiegogo. So if you have a comic book, you could also include a toy or a trading card or a knick-knack of some sort. In her case, it was going to be tarot cards, and I think that actually sounds cool because I like that kind of stuff.
Let's see. Stop sharing screen, share screen.
Yeah, here's another person asking about it.
So this is an email that I did a year ago. And it was him sending me an email of the tarot card pack, like how it's going to look for the perks. And I said, okay, oh my God, I love it. Only problem is the logo that's on top of it. And I said, it's the one you used for Baked's book. And with all his drama and the killer and Baked promoting the book again, I don't think it's a good idea to use it. How about my magnum opus one? And he just said, oh, okay, let me just, like, we'll figure it out later. We'll update it later. Like, let me just remove it. So I'm talking about Baked Alaska. I found this artist because he was Baked Alaska's manager, if you guys know who Baked Alaska is. And he was working on Baked Alaska's book.
I don't know. Who's Baked Alaska? Do you know where?
Yeah, he
And
was big in like the MAGA scene for a little while.
but he went to Charlottesville. He did the whole milk thing and cried about the milk. And basically, like, he's been lingering around, that far right, like, circles, and just Charlottesville. That's all I have to say. And any association to that is not good. And Miles was his manager, worked on his book, and then he is attempting to put symbols of Baked Alaska's book on Lady Alchemy merch.
Jesus.
And I went, no. And that's what this email says, is that I said, no, I don't want that symbol on the book. And he said, oh, okay, we'll sort it out later and I'll remove it. You know what he did a year later when he submitted the 14 pages of all himself, Major Gruber, on his jacket? He had the symbol on every single page. There's the prominent Baked Alaska symbol. So I was like, you're not listening to me. I told you a year ago, don't wrap me into this political bullshit. I don't want it associated to me. And this is what he does. So am I wrong to want to get rid of this guy?
Well, again, it's your project. You're never wrong. You're the leader. You're the project leader. You're the boss. It's what you want.
Yeah.
It's your vision. It's your character.
You were 100% in the right.
Thank you. Well, I just, again, after all his bitching on multiple platforms, it's like, what do you guys expect me to do? Like, I couldn't go on with this project the way it was, and I can't give up and cancel it because I owe the backers a book. This is my reputation. This is Comicsgate reputation. This is the only thing I have going on in my life. My career as a performer got ruined by SJWs, and I hate politics, so I don't want to be in media anymore. And this fits perfect. It keeps Lady Alchemy alive. It's artistic. All of you guys, my point of this too is that I know him from the political scene, and it's been terrible, anything involving politics. But you guys have been super supportive and really generous. So I'm just trying to take it all in as like a sponge, and Adam's helping me, just being a mentor, just being guiding me to how to do the project the right way. Cause I really messed it up doing it with someone that didn't know what he was doing and being a mooch. And now it's like, okay, this is how you got to do it. You need to hire a writer. You got to have this process done. And just to answer your questions, Adam, since we didn't get on a call ourselves, he signed a contract.
Great.
Which is why I mentioned his name.
Cool.
So he signed, so he's the writer, and he has already sent me a little synopsis of each page.
Congratulations.
So yeah, we just got to sort through that. And I mean, I'm sure I'm going to love it because I'm sure he took my story and made it better instead of doing something I don't recognize anymore.
And honestly, this is editorial. This affects all of us that are making comics. If you hire people, just really prize communication over everything. Make sure they know where you're coming from and that you know where they're coming from. When you're the boss, but it doesn't mean that you're just in charge of everything and people have to take whatever you say. It means you're responsible to make sure everybody understands each other. And on a serious note, do that because it's going to work out better. Also, never have the attitude of well, that's their job. Let them figure it out. People should all do their jobs, but just never give people extra work to do that they don't have to do. And then if you tell someone, hey, this is really important to me, and you ask something of them, then they can do it, whether you're the employee or the employer or the contractor or the boss or whichever thing it is. Just keep the communication clear. And then Martina, what I would tell you is I'm working with Professor Geek, who's helping me with writing my title G.I. Jackrabbits. So he and I have a lot of conversations. Then he sends me stuff that I read. And I always tried to get back to him within 24 hours or same day. However, life gets in the way. So what I do is I get it to him as quick as I can, but not before I take the time to thoroughly read and think about stuff just to make sure, all right, I am cool with this. And any questions or any notes, just write little things down and then we just talk about it one thing at a time. So if it takes you a week to get back to Vaughn, that's fine. Just collect all your thoughts, take your time, don't rush it. If you're not sure about something, as per usual, you can always ask me my 2 cents on something. I'm happy to give it to you. Yeah, just take your time. He's a great guy to work with. As you guys were talking about working together, and I think I recommended him. I might have recommended him to you. But in any case, it got me excited about wanting to do a project with him. So I'm almost envious. I think it's going to be fantastic. Just take your time and take the time you need to be thorough with getting back to him.
Yeah, I definitely want to just do it the right way. And like I said, I'm absorbing it all like a sponge. So I'm just taking all the advice from the professionals this time. And it seems to be running much smoother. So,
yeah, that's the way it's supposed to be.
The main thing with this audience is that they just like to see transparency. So it's a stressful situation to be in, but as long as you're out there letting them know what's going on, they can be very, very forgiving. And so,
yeah, everybody's been very forgiving and supportive. I mean, I get emails saying like, it doesn't matter. Like, I'm supporting you either way, so that's all very kind. So that all just makes me even feel like I want to do it even more.
So there you have it. Make of that what you will. It kind of sounds to me like the guy had his own idea and he just wanted to use her for marketing, for the name recognition. But he had his own idea of a comic book that he wanted to put together. And then she thought it was going to be the Lady Alchemy show. It's all going to be about her. That's not the case at all. They just wanted to use her for the name recognition, and that didn't even end up happening because that's not what she wanted. It's probably not what she thought was going to go on. So she did it's not easy to manage one of these campaigns, by the way. She didn't do a good job the first time. Hopefully, with the Adams' help, she'll do better next time. These guys at least know what they're doing. They've run successful campaigns that got funded. So she needs to keep talking to these guys. And, they're all happy to simp for her. Why not, But honestly, it's a community that we all help each other out like that, regardless of what you look like, to be honest. So it just seems to me like the guy was a little bit shady and she's just bad at managing campaigns and being assertive about what she wants. A lot of people will start a campaign for Comicsgate, and literally they do end up getting maybe $10,000, $20,000, and then you don't hear from them. They never make the book, because some people, when they get that kind of money for the first time in their life, they go fuck it off. They're getting hookers, they're gambling, who knows what they're doing, partying, and sometimes they'll come back like a year later with their tail between their legs, but too bad, you blew it, you fucked up. You don't get another shot. The people in Comicsgate like myself, we don't want to back your book when you ripped everybody off. But as for Martina, she has not fucked up her chances yet. She could still redeem herself or whatever. Nobody thinks anything of her, really, in a bad way in Comicsgate, so she's still welcome there. Hopefully this book gets, created, because I would like to back it myself. And that's that. That was my Comicsgate Redbar Radio crossover. Thanks for watching. Meow.